there guys, very welcome back to another awesome video. Today we have another top 10 video. So for today's top 10 video, we've finally done all four. We've done the Magic Kingdom, we visited Epcot, we've talked about Hollywood Studios. Now we're going to get into Animal Kingdom. And I did this purposely in chronological order because Magic Kingdom came out first in the 60s, then Epcot came out I think a few years after, and then around the 80s came Hollywood Studios / MGM Studios, and into I think it was either 98 or 99 was the release of Animal Kingdom. So now we're going to talk about my favorite rides. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this. At number 10, we have the Flights at Wonder. I don't know if this is a show that still exists. I know at one point had Russell from Up featured into it, or they had the Wilderness Explorers. Still, the concept and the idea of this show, there's these birds, these different, to use the title, Flights of Wonder, that these majestic birds, from parrots to owls to hawks to eagles, everything associated with the animal kingdom and how beautiful these creatures can be, and seeing them up close and the tricks and training that it took for them, and the interactive things involving us and animals at Animal Kingdom. Number 9 is Kali River Rapids, a very fun raft ride, and I think I've said this before, I've said it again, I still don't know, but it's either this or Splash Mountain has the highest drop, that splash zone. This sense of anticipation of when you're gonna get splashed, when you're gonna get soaked. There's so many cuts and corners and turns. You have that build up into it, and it's just really fun. Number 8 is Primeval World. Let's pay respects to the old Danielland USA and that area alone, because all that is pretty much, majority of it is gone. And that theme of all those bright, colorful, cartoonish dinosaur looking characters had like this carnival feel, and Primeval World feels like a carnival ride if the more you think about it, because it's got like this whole mousetrap thing going on with it, with the way it spins. Creative, it's a little kooky, it's kind of got this like domino effect, or I don't know what would you call it, but like one of those like house tricks, like, you know, like you see in movies, like take for example Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the way he wakes up, or Wallace and Gromit, like those types of like tricks and traps and little gimmicks. Feels like that, with how spontaneous it is and just how weird it is, and kind of just a little silly and kind of goofy, but in that fun, cheesy, comic sort of sense, like kind of like a comic strip. Number 7 is Finding Nemo, the musical. Despite the meme that has been going around with this musical, both this musical revamped it, calling it the Big Blue World, the Big Blue, or whatever it's called now, but it really is really creative. It's really neat, and especially those puppets. And yes, the performers are great, the vocals are great, but those puppets, those fantastic fish puppets, from the littlest ones like Nemo to the giant ones like Crush. Yes, let's admit, the songs are pretty good, without using them and getting copyrighted, but the songs are pretty damn good. At number 6 is Tough to Be a Bug, another attraction we shall pay respects to and we will be saying goodbye to very soon. Not too soon, but very soon. I want to say either next year or 2026. They're closing that for Zootopia, but I do want to give it a little more credit, a little more appreciation, because it's one of those old 3D aesthetics, practical special effects, smoke and mirror tricks, and just the animatronics, like the very little usage that there is of the animatronics is done so well, and they're just so cool. It's all about Hopper, because it's all about that Hopper life, and that animatronic was just so awesome. The way it just moved, so awesome. And it made that show quite scary and quite dark, and I think it really brought it up to a level, but also it gave us this kind of like conversation of insects are a part of society and are a part of human nature and a part of the circle of life, if you will. Naming down my final 5, at number 5 is Festival of the Lion King. I mean, it's Lion King, and that's 1 point right there. Number 2, it's indoors, so it's air conditioned, so that's another bonus. And number 3, the performers are great. The costumes are fantastic. The musical numbers are awesome. Even though it's just pretty much just taking the songs ripped from the movie, they're still performed very well. And you just have all the characters, puppetry, Simba, Pumbaa, everything is like top notch, almost like Broadway-esque. It's like a little mini version of the Lion King Broadway show brought to Florida, brought home. At number 4, Kilimanjaro Safari. It's not a very like thrilling ride. The view and the sights that you're seeing on this tour, on this trip, going through Africa, going through the savannah and seeing all the different animals and actual live animals. And that's the thing with Animal Kingdom, is that it is known for using live animals. And it's not just a zoo and the joke of not a zoo, but it's also an up-close experiences, like having like a giraffe right up by the vehicle, witnessing the lions wake up during the day, and all this other fascinating things with animals. And of course you have the message and the conservation about poaching and protecting these animals and these beautiful creatures out there in the world and out there in the wild. It's such a unique experience, because it's one thing seeing animals through glass, through an exhibit, through an expo, but it's actually being up there in person with them. At number 3 is Expedition Everest, probably the most thrilling ride that there is at Animal Kingdom. Probably the biggest, because of how massive that mountain is and how authentic that is. They really go into detail and really do their history and really do their research. And with Imagineers like Joe Rohde that really went out of their way to see designs of the Himalayas and Asia and how these things looked, with the grit and the gruff and the scuffs and the dirt and the marks and everything. And not only that, but seeing people believed in the Yeti, and you're going on this expedition to find the Yeti itself, and you come face to face with it. And that massive animatronic, I mean, it is called Disco Yeti, but there was a time when it moved super fast, great grand speed, and it just, the sheer size of that thing, the sheer size of that animatronic, all of it is so impressive and so much more. And number 2, Navi River Journey. It's beautiful to look at visually, and I think one of the things that makes this so visually beautiful to look at is that shaman animatronic. And that, talk about authenticity and the way it flows and moves. And I know that's one of the A1000 animatronics, one of the newer models, because now with the more updated animatronics, the more fluent they are moving with how articulate they are. But still, it's just the sheer size of her is so amazing. All of it is amazing. The way it just combines animatronics, the practical effects, and digital effects, and make it feel immersive, like you're in Pandora, like you're going on that riverboat, you're there in the world, you're there on this different planet, on a different world. Really captures what James Cameron's vision of Avatar. Before I unveil my number 1 pick, here are just a few honorable mentions. Speaking of Avatar, we're going to talk about Flight of Passage. The reason why it's not on this list is because I have not yet experienced it. Quite the praise about it because of how immersive it is and how you feel like you are flying on one of those banshees. Tarzan rocks. It was the 90s, there was rollerblades, there was Phil Collins, there was Tarzan. It was such a phase, so silly, but I think it's one of those little gems. And my number 1 pick of my top 10 Animal Kingdom rides is, drumroll please, Dinosaur. I feel like I've talked about this ride a lot, so I'm gonna make this very brief. But yes, I am going to miss the shit out of this ride because it is going to be replaced and Dino Land will be torn down into the tropical America. Dinosaur is going to be replaced by Indiana Jones. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for this Indiana Jones ride. I look forward to the concept of it because I like the concept behind this Indiana Jones ride, but there was just something really cool. It was like this ride was kind of like as if Jurassic Park and Back to the Future had a baby. That's what Dinosaur is. You're going back in time, going into prehistoric era, going with Seeker, encountering dinosaurs, amazing animatronics, and so many animatronics in this ride. I think this might have the most animatronics at Animal Kingdom. I could be wrong, but it feels like there's a ton here. The environment is, the kind of quote Imagineers, the sights, the sounds, the smells, it feels real, it feels natural, it feels just so authentic of dinosaurs were like and what prehistoric time was like. And of course you have that Carnotaurus. It made it scary too. And I remember being scared for the first time when I rode this ride. It was dark and it was scary for me. I was like, whoa, but I loved it. I still do to this day. It's not as terrifying. It's very intense, but it's still one of those things that you just go, wow, that was awesome. That was great. And it will forever be missed. nonetheless. But what do you guys think? What are your favorite rides at Animal Kingdom? Let me know down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to us videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every day, if not every week. Share the video with family and friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave just down in the comments. You name it, I'll look at it as best as possible. Look out for more videos to come for the rest of November, and then into December, and then into the end of 2024 into 2025. So thank you guys so much for watching. And also, if you want to check out my previous videos on my favorite rides at Magic Kingdom, my favorite rides at Epcot, my favorite rides at Hollywood Studios, and maybe some top 10s, playlists for movie reviews, check that out as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.